the 5th race of the Super Formula season for 2025 and the first of 2 standalone races that aren't double headers. Let's talk about the round at Autopolis. Starting off, Tsuboi is back. I mean, he retired from the second race in Motegi. He hasn't won all season, but in round 5, the reigning champion gets his first win. He is now 14 points off of the championship leader, which is second place to a non-score, and he would jump into the lead. Perhaps it's not particularly surprising that the 2 cars that are ahead of him are the Dakota Team Dandelion Racing cars. But, yeah, it is. And it will have an impact in how this championship plays out. The fact that there are 2 cars up there, whereas Tsuboi is without his teammate. Sasha Ferrestras is down in 11th in the standings at the moment. But it was a race where Makino and Otto were not particularly visible, and it felt strange to think that. It was also a race where Ayumu Iwasa cannot catch a break at Super Formula this year, can he? Iwasa is currently 4th in the standings. When he's finished on the podium, 2nd and 3rd in the first 2 races, and qualified 2nd for both of those races at Suzuka as well. Retired from Motegi with powertrain issues, got 3rd in the second race at Motegi, and retired again whilst leading in Autopolis. I don't really know what's going on there. It seems very strange, to be honest, because it's like, what is causing this issue for Iwasa? But I guess we'll hopefully find out at some point what's affecting the Team Mugen car. Elsewhere, in terms of results, it was first podiums of the year for Takumi Najiri and Kenta Yamashita. Yamashita is now 8th in the standings, tied with Seneca Takaguchi and only 1 point behind Igor Fraga, who is proved to be quite convincing at some different bits and pieces in Super Formula. But Najiri as well has jumped up to 5th in the standings, is only 2 points behind Ayumu Iwasa now. And that's despite the fact that this is Najiri's, like I said, first podium of the season. Did get pole position as well, I believe. But, yeah. What was it? 3 pole positions on the year. First podium. We'll see how he does for the rest of the season. But I wanted to quickly talk about, before we wrapped up, Autopolis as a circuit. This is the first race I've actually watched at Autopolis. I've seen so many clips, mostly from the Group C days, of the track. And pulling up the Wikipedia, it says about how it was in Need for Speed Pro Street, but I don't seem to particularly remember driving on it in Pro Street. It might be because it was the shorter version. But yeah, I enjoyed watching the race. And it was quite nice to see this track. I believe it's going to be in Super GT later in the season as well. So, we talk about Autopolis again in October. But, yeah, it's strange. These venues that you see in Japanese motorsports. Because British motorsport, the more niche venues are ones like Cadwell. Or if you talk about ones that are on the BTCC calendar, Thruxton or Knockhill. But Japan has, I mean, heck, even Okayama you could technically count as it because it was so far out the way when F1 hosted it. It was a bit like Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix in a way. But Sugo and Autopolis, I find it really hard to identify them as tracks and go, okay, this is how it goes, this is how it drives. And when you see the backing videos in Assetto Corsa later in the season at Sugo and Autopolis, you're going to be like, we're following what Cav's doing, but he really doesn't know where he's going. At least for me, not compared to, Fuji, or Suzuka, or Motegi, or even, thanks to iRacing, I would say, Okayama. Anyways, those are my thoughts, those are my feelings. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and joining, folks. Until next time, it's bye for now.